Hey, what's up? Moonsplatta here. I wanted to talk about the weekly download, which is a very vast database of knowledge now that's been extremely helpful to me and everyone else in Producer Dojo. It's kind of overwhelming at this point to look through it. There's so much since Dylan has done such a good job of keeping up with it. But I wanted to talk about a few of my favorites that have been very useful in basically every single project that I do now. Episode 6, the one with the Moog sub rack, is something that opens up in my initialized template in Ableton every time. Um, so that I would say is an essential one. Same with episode 28, the unusual subs. I actually combine those, the Moog subs and unusual subs, into one instrument, and I use that in literally everything. Then moving on from there, episode 14, adding detail with routing hacks. Thought that one was very interesting, and there's definitely some neat tricks in there that I use a lot. Episode 15, elegant side chains, I found to be very, very interesting, and that's basically how I do all of my side chains. Episode 24, the three extremes, is something I find myself pointing out to a lot of people, especially with finishing up mix downs. I think that's like an essential step when you're getting to the last part of finishing your track. Like checking those extremes is very important. And episode 38, the far away rack, is a very useful trick. That's a rack that I have saved into my favorites in Ableton now that I just always use. And then episode 41, turning samples into MIDI instruments. That's something I do all the time now, especially since I use a lot of analog recordings and things like that, making them into, taking small slices and making that into your own instrument that you can then, use and manipulate in other ways has been extremely helpful. And then lastly on my list here is episode 73 on multi-band transient shaping. That's just essential for getting your drums nice and big and full and punchy. And so yeah, that's my list of the essential weekly downloads, but really all of them are essential. It's a pretty amazing database of knowledge at this point. So that's all from me. I'll see you guys later.